Hey, good morning, Pat Seekins, operations with the Rocky Mountain Area Type 1 Incident Management Team. And I'm here this morning again to give you an update on the Tamarack Fire. Currently, we're sitting at 59% containment. So every day we gain a little more containment on this fire, as you can see on the north end. So we'll give you an update, and we'll start here just east of Highway 89 here in Division Kilo, Branch 1, working east. Once again, no change. Everything's looking very secure as we work across the north end of the fire, through Bryan Creek all the way to Highway 395. So no change on the north end of the fire. Everything's looking really secure. So the plan today is to still have some folks checking some of this edge just to make sure everything's secure and kind of buttoned up and locked in, just to control that edge. But everything's looking really good and is controlled on the north end of the fire, all the way to Highway 395. Moving down 395, no change. Everything's looking very secure in and around the structures back to 395. As you can see, black line around the entire slop over. Spot fire, no issues or concerns here east of 395. Moving south around Holbrook and west of Highway 208 and 395, no issues or concerns here. Everything's looking very secure, black line established all the way where they've got this locked off in the southeast corner of the fire here. So looking really good. So folks are going to be patrolling in this area today, looking for any hot spots along the line that were inside the fire edge and the black line, and that'll just continue. As we move into Branch 2, Division Quebec, so here's where we start to really focus on kind of our priorities here is to start to lock off and connect the dots here in Division Quebec. Is definitely a priority for us over the next 3 to 4 days to continue to check this fire spread to the south. We've got quite a few hotshot crews in here working with helicopters as they connect the dots, going direct right along the fire's edge with firefighters and with some air support in here. Everything's looking good. They're making progress. However, when we get into this country, it's a little steeper, rugged ground. So it's kind of slow, steady progress is how I describe this. A lot of good work is getting done. But with this steep country in here, it's just going to take a little bit of time. But feeling confident we're going to eventually, within 3 to 4 days, start to see some additional containment in and around Quebec as they work west. Just southwest of Leviathan Mine here. Once again, everything is looking secure around Leviathan Mine. Folks have kind of secured that edge, but they're working west. Right along the fire perimeter, as you can see, some of this is some steep, rugged terrain. They were able to do a small burnout operation here on the ground. And what they did, they reduced the fuel and brought that fire out to a straighter fire perimeter where firefighters could be more successful going direct to kind of lock that off and keep that fire from spreading south. Continuing to the west, this is a lot of big country in here. The fire perimeter has started to cool down. A lot of this fire has moved out into the lighter fuels and essentially just kind of went out in these meadows in here. And crews have been successful going direct, cold trailing, making sure that fire edge is cool. And they'll continue to do that over the next 2 to 3 days. And the plan is to walk this entire perimeter all the way down back to Highway 89 here to get some additional containment going west all the way to Highway 89. As we move into Division Tango here, we've added some additional containment, so a lot of really good work got done in here. This fire kind of ran up and hung up right on top of a ridgetop, which provided firefighters a good opportunity to walk that ridge line and make sure this edge is completely checked, going direct, and putting some hand line in here where needed. So a really good day in Division Tango on this section of line, as you can see, and we expect that to just continue as they push west towards this break right here. In addition to that, there was a lot going on in Tango yesterday, a lot of really good work. We had some aviation support here on top of the ridgetop where we used single engine air tankers. And they dropped fire retardant quite a bit on top of this ridge line where they had an opening of potential fire that wanted to push up towards the ridgetop. So that retardant line was used as a control feature, where we used a helicopter to drop some ping pong balls that are aerial ignition devices to clean out this pocket of fuel to reduce any kind of potential for that fire to want to push kind of southeast here. So that was successful yesterday. Really good operation, well coordinated, and a really good stroke to help to lock off this corner of the fire. Firefighters were able to walk this entire edge and add additional check line. However, this is going to be at least a couple more days in here to start to secure this edge, but we'll see some additional containment over the next couple days in Division Tango. As we move into the southwest portion of the fire, Division Alpha in here, we've got a lot of fire edge out here, but a lot of this fire edge is very cool. It's fairly mellow. There's very little fire activity. Once again, this fire perimeter has not really moved in the past over a week now. We do have firefighters in strategic locations just kind of positioned to look for opportunities. However, looking at this country in here, it's just very steep and rugged. There's a lot of natural barriers in and around west of Division Alpha, not just along the fire edge, but also to the west. There's a lot of natural barriers here. So based on risk to the firefighters and based on the fire potential for this fire to want to move is very low, but the risk to the firefighters is high. So when we have a risk-based decision and kind of a trade-off on when and if we put firefighters in here, really needs to be evaluated carefully in this portion of the fire. So that'll continue. We'll continue to evaluate the potential of Division Alpha in this fire edge, and we'll staff this area of the fire as appropriate. Moving to the northwest here, we've got a little steep piece of ground in here that still needs to be checked. There is a little bit of heat here, and crews are just going to look for some opportunities to get some kind of a containment line in this place. Moving up south of Burnside Lake, once again, we've got some containment. We are still finding a little bit of heat along the line, but that's inside the fire perimeter. So they will continue to patrol and check this edge to make sure everything's secure all the way down south of Highway 88. So a lot of good work in here has been completed, but we still want to just make sure everything is 100%, and this edge is going to continue to stay fully secured. So what that does is lock off everything on the northwest corner to reduce any kind of potential for this fire to move northwest, which it hasn't. It has stayed put, and things are looking really good. As we move east and just south of Highway 88, no changes here. Everything's looking very good south of Crystal Springs and Woodfords. No change here. Everything's looking very good. We're essentially in patrol status on this entire perimeter back where we started. We still have a full structure group, and their focus will still be Highway 395 in and around the structures here, as well as providing a presence here in Markleyville, Woodfords along Highway 88 and Crystal Springs as needed, as well as some focus here on Highway 4 and Highway 89 as needed as they coordinate with other resources. We still have a night shift in place. The night shift will focus on Highway 395 as well as a presence here on 89 throughout the night, and we'll continue that operation moving forward. So overall, just wanted to summarize, the fire's looking very good, and we're focused on our higher priority of areas, and we expect to continue to creep towards additional containment.